Hey there, hey there. Six things that your business and your brand needs to thrive. Because I always say that design, for the sake of design, like a pretty logo and a pretty brand, just because you like it, is a waste of time. Design has a job to do. So here is the six things that you need in your business and in your brand. Okay, what are these six things? Well, I'm just going to pull up my notes here because I actually can't remember six things. It's a bit tragic, really. So, the first thing you need is distinctiveness. Is your brand distinct enough? Does it stand out from the crowd? Because if you have a brand that looks the same as everybody else in your industry, you're actually killing your brand because no one's going to remember you, no one's going to recognize you. The question you should always ask your designer when you're getting a logo done or branding work done or any kind of graphics done is, are they buying the graphics from a marketplace? Because a lot of designers actually don't design anything themselves specifically. They don't create the source files. They'll go and buy a logo, or they'll go and buy images or buy illustrations from a marketplace, which means that everybody else in the world can buy the same logo icons, the same illustrations, and you might find something on someone else's business that you associate with your business. So again, the distinctiveness is gone there. So the second one is relevance. Does your design work? Do your visuals support and reflect your values, your marketplace, your goals, the vibe that you want to put out there in the world? Because there's a difference between being a really different brand from your competitors and standing out like a sore thumb. You've got to tread that line to be still relevant yet distinctive. It's kind of difficult, but a good designer will be able to help that for you. The way I do it with my clients, with my VIP expert clients, is I create a customer persona mood board. So it's an actual visual aid of the ideal client, everything that he or she would see in a day, where they eat, where they shop, sort of clothes they wear, the kind of books they read, the kind of apps they have on their phone, all that kind of stuff. The visual world of your ideal client is what I investigate. I research that. And then I can build a brand around that that's relevant to that audience, relevant to that client, relevant to that marketplace, and yet still bring that level of distinctiveness to it. Third one, memorability. Will people recognize your brand? Do you have something specific that your brand is known for visually? So examples of that would be Tiffany's, for example. That color, Tiffany's blue. We just see that color and we think Tiffany's. Even if we see a little box with a sort of a duck egg blue box with a white ribbon, that's not even a Tiffany's box. We still think Tiffany. So they own that visual. You can also have a sound, audio branding. So think of Intel Pentium processors inside the ding 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 on their adverts. That's Intel. Think about illustration style. If you know Roald Dahl and his books, all illustrated by Quentin Blake, and although I know that Quentin Blake illustrates for other people, I just think of Roald Dahl every time I see those illustrations. So think about what you have in your brand that makes it memorable and makes it yours. Flexibility. Does your brand work across many touch points? So that's what I mean is your logo. Does it work small and does it work large? So if, for example, you have a fashion label, do you have a version of the logo that works on, the label of your shirts, your clothing, and also as signage on your shop? You need to have a variety of logos and brand elements that can work on various sizes, so it's flexible. And also flexibility, do you have enough flexibility in the style, the colors, the fonts, the imagery, to actually add more products or services to your business? Like if you're going to do a series, could you add another one to those series? Does your brand support that without you having to go back to the drawing board to create a whole new look, feel, and assets and things like that? So that's what I mean by flexibility. Depth. Number 5, depth. How do you communicate to your audience? Because everyone picks up information in different ways. They might like to read, listen, watch, that kind of thing, experience. So make sure that your content and your branding and your visuals have a mixture of everything in there so that you can appeal to everyone's kind of learning styles, their kind of responsiveness. And the sixth final thing that you need to have in your brand is experience. Like, what's the experience of your brand? Because your brand is a living entity. It's not static. It's not like, here we go, that's my business, that's my branding, done. I shall go away on the beach for a week. Even though some people say that's how they want to run their businesses, generally it's a living experience that you live in and your clients live in. So think about how you interact with your clients. Think about the content you put out there. Think about how you meet new people, how you present yourself in person. Think about how the office telephone is picked up. I mean, that's all part of the brand experience. And think about the internal journey that your client goes through once they are possibly in a sales funnel or they're a client of yours, and the stuff that you send out for them once they're working with you. Think about that visually, because that's part of your brand experience. So those are the 6 things that you need. So they are distinctiveness, relevance, memorability, flexibility, depth and experience. And I hope that has helped you today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video and leave a comment below. I always reply to comments because it's social media. Okay, bye.